I had a friend and neighbor, Joan Cronick, who was on the CCC board for many years, who invited me to a reception in her apartment with the then director of CCC to hear about the organization. I was impressed enough to send a contribution at year-end and continued to do so for several years. Meanwhile, at different times, from different friends, I heard about this program where you went around to various social service organizations serving children and families in the city to see how the organizations functioned. Finally, at some point, I connected Joan Cronick's Citizens Committee for Children with these experiences of friends, and I learned that this community leadership course was a product of CCC and open to anyone interested. Since I was a retired corporate tax attorney with no knowledge of social services of any sort except what I read about in the New York Times, I thought this could be an interesting educational experience. So I called and I got myself a place for the next fall's course. Little had I guessed just how educational it would be. But it was really when I came onto the board that I began to understand the breadth and depth of what CCC did. First, I was introduced to CCC's wonderful world of data collection. Every possible source of statistics about the condition of children and families in New York City was collected. CCC then merged it into one document, Keeping Track, which is updated every other year and continues to provide a mind-boggling array of social, economic, health, educational, and housing data by neighborhood. Now, of course, this is all online and accessible to anyone with a computer, but I like the book. We have a super staff putting this information together, but it takes more than just numbers to develop policies. Our staff is innovative and diverse and understands that the opinions of the community, the people actually living the life, are a vital element in developing policies and programs that are supposed to support them. They have worked hard to develop ways of identifying and collecting these firsthand perspectives to fill out the statistical data supporting policies. Finally, policies are just ideas until implemented, and CCC leads the pack with public relations and coordinated advocacy. I only began to get to know about Eleanor Roosevelt after college. Having grown up in a thoroughly Republican house, Mom liked Adlai but never told Dad, I never heard anything nice about the Roosevelts, especially Eleanor, who clearly did not understand her proper place as First Lady. But I was, to the contrary, fascinated with her independence and grew to admire her more as I went back to work after our first child, and then the second, third, and fourth, and somehow found time to read 2 very good biographies. Finding out that she was part of the group of women responsible for establishing CCC during World War II, when women, mothers, were suddenly out of the house at work, was inspiring to me. So I was thrilled when my son and daughter-in-law named their first child, born on Eleanor Roosevelt's birthday, Eleanor Jane. She's 10. She knows she's named after Eleanor Roosevelt, but she doesn't seem to care. She's 10. From Eleanor Roosevelt and her fellow founders to my peers on the board and our staff today, I am deeply grateful to CCC for teaching me how rewarding social advocacy and civic participation can be, and for demonstrating the sheer potential a small group of committed individuals can have in bringing about lasting change for children and families. Thank you to my family and friends who join me today and provide me endless support and inspiration. And thank you all for sharing this very special morning with me.